You are live.
Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Thursday. Today, you're going to hear from Gianni. We're going to get a big Steam report. We're going to hear from Dave Mason, bookmaker from betonline.ag, where the sharp money is going. We're going to talk a little college football, UFC Shanghai with Kyle Anthony, NFL preseason breakdowns. You're going to get information here that most bettors are not going to get. So if you want the edge, this is where you find it. Let's get started here. Let's bring on Gianni while we're doing that. Hit the like button, guys. Andy, Steve, Ross, and Gianni are my only friends. Brent. All right, brother. Well, hey, sometimes you just keep a very, very close circle of friends, Brent. Happy to be a part of it, and happy Thursday. Gianni, haven't seen you in a couple days. How's everything going? I know it's a busy, busy Thursday.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely. A really, really busy Thursday. I have to get up really early because we've been firing on the tennis, and that tennis has just been stealing, man. They went 6-0 yesterday with a plus 270, a plus 115. It was like they're just the first day they split. I think we hit one more bet than we lost. And since then, I don't think we've lost a bet, but I can't even use them. And I'm not even going to give out the tennis. Forgive me. Last time I gave out the tennis here, I had to get belted by customer service about, oh, the line moved, the line. Bro, what do you think they're going to do? They're qualifiers. They're not even the main tournament. If I bet it, it's going to move. Like, if you don't want to know the information, I won't share the information. But what could I do? I'm giving it as I'm betting it, and I can't help it if no one else is betting the other side. These are qualifiers. If they can't write a bet on the other team, they're going to move it a lot. And there's not anyone else really betting these qualifiers except us. So if we bet minus 110, within minutes, it's going to get them 170. That's not my fault. I can't control that. So I just said, you know what? I talked to Johnny. I said, I'm just going to save the headache and just not release any tennis unless it's a major, major tournament towards the end where everybody could get down, because it's just not worth dealing with the headache of, like, I can't help. If you don't have outs, you don't have outs. Don't bet it. Forgive me, but I couldn't believe it. You get out free information, they still complain. I just don't understand. And then there's guys giving out the guys are selling same game parlays out there, and they're pissed that I'm giving plus 180 money lines that go off at 150. You know what I mean?
Well, we had a tennis play that's opened at minus 120 and it closed at minus 275. So guilty.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Oops.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Well, I want to talk Dana White Contender Series here towards the end, but we have a lot of lines to look at.
Yeah, I got a lot of NFL, a lot of preseason, small college football. Small Major League Baseball, not too much, but a lot of NFL.
Well, let's talk NFL and college football. Huge move on the Giants. The New England opened minus 2.5. Now Giants are minus 6.5. I totally get that. I can't believe they opened New England as a favorite in that one. I see we got a couple totals here. What are you seeing from your end on the Steam report?
Yeah, and you got to be careful because both games tonight did get steamed, but not at the numbers they're sitting at right now. Perfect example, 101 Pittsburgh got bet at minus 2, minus 3, and even through that key number, they laid minus 4. But they're not laying the 5 and 5.5s. That's the piggybackers and recreational bettors laying that bad number. And under 36.5 also got sharp money. Same thing with the Giants. I saw all the way up to minus 4. From minus 2.5, I saw up to minus 4. But right now, what I'm seeing in recreational accounts, they're laying minus 6 with the Giants, or they're teasing the Giants. They're teasing in preseason to get the Giants down to a pick 'em. Let me explain something to you. When you use a teaser and you take a minus 6 down to a pick 'em, you do not have that team on the money line because you now have to hit another bet and you're laying minus 130 for that privilege. So you don't have team A at a pick 'em like you think. You have two teams that both have to win at an adjusted number with added vig. So there's more pieces to the puzzle than just getting the Giants down to a pick 'em. So be cautious with using creativity to get a bet that you think is giving you a better price when it really ultimately isn't. Real fast, I'll go through these quickly because Friday and Saturday, there's a ton of NFL. Let me try to point you guys in some of the right directions. 110, Tennessee minus 1.5, 2.5, and 3. But when it got to 4.5, I saw take back on Minnesota. That shows you when the lines move significantly, the only question you have to ask yourself is now, is there value on the other side? Because I already missed the boat. 111, Chicago at +3. Also a little money line sprinkled on Chicago. 116, Cincinnati +3.5 and +3. The piggybackers, they're laying points with Cincinnati. The Steam Chasers laid 1.5. They laid 2. And I'm sure the public will get them up to 3. But rest assured, the sharp side is Cincinnati at +3.5, at +3, not -1.5, not -2, not -3. So be cautious. Numbers matter. They at the end of the day, you got to be betting good numbers. Indianapolis, Cincinnati also under 38.5 and 37.5. 120 Cleveland -3.5 and 4. They started seeing what was happening, and this book started moving significantly. So before they'd go -3.5, -4, -4.5. Maybe to 4.5, then to 6. That didn't happen. You're starting to see a preseason. Once a key number gets hit like 3, and then through the key number gets hit, they're really adjusting. So they're going from -3.5, -4 to -7. And that's when you started seeing take back on the Rams at +7. So Cleveland -3.5 and 4, Rams +7. Both sharp bets, just a different number. 120 over 37.5, 38 Rams Cleveland, 124 Green Bay -1, 126 Miami -1.5, all the way to -3. Piggybackers are betting you all the way up to -5, and 127 Buffalo +1. Also saw Vegas and Chargers in there, but need to get more confirmation. Again, as my subscribers will tell you, I think I might have released only 2 NFL so far this week, coming off a 10-4 week 2, because I've waited for confirmation. Made the mistake in the first week that cost us. That's not going to happen again. So I know I'm releasing a lot of sharp information, but you got to remember, with the lines moving so significantly, there will be take back. So for premium plays, we're going to wait and wait for strong confirmation, staying selective in preseason especially.
Love it. Love it. College football. I see we got a lot of movement on the total in the Stanford-Hawaii game. Open 55.5. That's down to 50.5. Makes sense. You got a Stanford team that, a lot of things up in the air, and the Hawaii team just isn't the juggernaut that it once was. Anything else in college football of note?
No, just the two-way action in Kansas State and Iowa State. Like I saw early sharp action on the Kansas State side. And then at 3.5, I was seeing Iowa State getting picked off. And then in the Kansas-Fresno State, Fresno was one of those summer steam moves where you saw they took out the 14.5s. They took out the 14 on Fresno. Makes sense. Once it got down to 12, I did see some sharp bettors lay the 12 with Kansas. And actually, I like that side. I thought Kansas, anything less than 2 touchdowns, I thought was the right side. So when I saw the Fresno steam, it kind of got me off the game. But now I'm starting to see some Kansas sharp money come back. So kind of leaning that way as well. And the Hawaii game, Hawaii and the public and the wise guys are on Hawaii. The wise, I like I said on Bet On It, I gave out Hawaii to my subscribers weeks ago on the money line at -115. I think that money line's up to like -130, 135. So we got a good number, which is good. But I don't like when the sharps and the public are all on the same side and the books aren't reflecting that, meaning Hawaii should be a 3-point favorite right now. The reason they're not a 3-point favorite is probably any 3 that went out there that was buy orders taken on the dog on Stanford, or else we'd be looking at 3s probably across the board, because Hawaii is a lot of risk for the books already. And I think it's just going to pile up between now and kickoff.
All right. Anything in baseball? I see Colorado is taking money.
Yep, you nailed it. Colorado again, baby. That's the darling right now. Colorado is the wise guy darling. Not only are they betting Colorado to win games on the money line, but they're betting Colorado on the run line as well, where you're not getting as good odds. But here's what you got to remember with Colorado. They've been making you a lot of money of late. This is a team now that's won 7 of their last 10 games. Okay.
Amazing.
3 of those games, they were 2-1 or better as dogs. They were never less than +150. That's the great equalizer, man. The money line in sports, it's just like the point spread in spread bets. And we talked about that. This is the time of the year where it's going to be hard to make money in baseball if you're going with the narrative. And that means betting those teams that need to win to get in the playoffs or jockeying for position and fading those teams that have been bad all season. Those teams that have been bad all season, they're bringing up youth right now. Those kids got a reason to play. They are trying to make the team. They're trying to play in Major League Baseball, not AAA. So they're going to bring it each and every night. And it's hard to bet these teams because of how bad they've been all year. But Colorado is a perfect example of that. If you're getting plus 200, you got to win 1 out of 3 bets just to break even. And we talked about it in the beginning of the year. Very few teams, when the season's over, are going to win less than 30% of their games. It's only those seasons where it's an outlier. So keep that in mind over the next 6 weeks, because you're going to have to run into some of those burning buildings if you want to make money in baseball.
You know, I'm looking at the standings in the last 10 games, and here's who have the best records the last 10 games. The Yankees, the Braves, and the Rockies. Like,
there you go.
Who
Braves and Rockies, complete teams that you couldn't talk people into it. Like you could have gave them your money to bet it, and they wouldn't have bet it.
Yeah. Anything on road to UFC? We have a question about road to UFC. I run for the hills on road to UFC. That is such a dangerous. Those fights are very dangerous to bet on. The only thing I like, and she's already minus 275. Bruna Brazil in the main event. Ming Shi's coming off an unbelievably devastating knockout. Like, she put the girl in the hospital. But the fact is, she was getting her ass kicked before that. And Bruna Brazil, she's not great in the UFC, but she is UFC caliber, but it's minus 275. I don't have anything else in road to UFC. I do not bet on those fights. You?
No, I do, actually. I just like with the small promotions, PFL, LFA, but I'm very, very selective. I'll be straight. I did all UFC because I have to send them in some betting notes each and every week. So I've been working on that card over the last 2 days and plan today to dig into those road to UFC and PFL. So maybe have something for you guys. And check the free picks page as well. Nothing there. But someone Titan asked about Yankees, Boston. I like Yankees. I like the Yankees. I like them at the opener a lot more than the current price. But I think it's Yankee favorite or pass right now in that game. I think it's Yankees or pass. The only problem is, again, the line's moved a little too significantly.
I got to ask you about Contender Series. That was one of my biggest winning nights ever in Contender Series, just watching live. I told you you'd like that Jimenez guy. Isn't he awesome?
Yeah.
He's really, really good, man. I love that guy. We did our live show, and listen, Quozy, nothing but respect. We unloaded on him watching him walk out to the octagon. Yeah. How nervous he was. That was a lamb going to be slaughtered. What was it like in the building? There's obviously a lot more energy and a lot more positivity.
100%. It was a total difference between what a contrast between week 1 and week 2. It was almost like once that first fight ended, it was like, okay, now we're back to normal. Okay, now the Contender Series back to normal, because we were coming off 3 decisions the week, 4 decisions out of 5 fights in the week prior. Not signing a bunch of guys. So yeah, it was like B. Joe Piper all over again. And that's exactly what we saw in week 2 with the finishes. It's funny because you saw a lot of those lines move significantly. And here's the mistake that bettors make with Contender Series that I've realized. These lines move a lot. And if you're not getting down early, then you're forcing yourself to either parlay or get creative. So now you're making already a difficult exercise even harder. It's hard enough to determine the outcome between 2 human beings at that particular time on that day, how they're going to perform. Like, there's a lot of randomness to that question. But then how they're going to do it, not just if they're going to do it, but then how they're going to do it. Are they going to sub? Are they going to knock out? Are they going to be a decision? Like, now you're going to adding levels of thinking that makes it so much harder. You're going so far out on the risk curve, and the return is never worth it. Like, if you're forcing yourself to have to get more creative to place a bet, you shouldn't be placing it. If there's not value at minus 500, then let it go. I'm not telling you to go out there and lay minus 500s because, that's how you go broke really fast. But what it means is you just missed the boat. You might like that sign. It was a great bet at minus 300. Now you can't let it go for the next one. And next time, fire sooner. Pull the trigger sooner. but don't wait till the end like I have to do for the show. Like, that's the least optimum betting. I'm betting in the Contender Series, which is hard enough, but I'm betting closing lines at Contender Series on the show. That's like, you know what I mean? Suicidal. But again, what's stuff like that, it shows you just how much value, because the lines move so much, man.
Well, now that you pulled back the curtain, we're like rooting for you on our show. we're like rooting hard for Johnny.
Thank you.
In an impossible situation out there. So, it's a great Thursday. I know we got a big weekend ahead. What do you have up for everyone at WagerTalk?
Yeah, I just sent out the second UFC bet for this Saturday's card, so the package will go up. There's the NFL for Saturday. Preseason already confirmed a couple bets. I have Friday is it Saturday the college football week 0 college football package already up. Finished number 1 in profit 2 of the last 4 years in college football. Turned the profit in 4 of the last 5. Loving the college football. Really ready for it this season. So jump on board for Saturday. And over these next couple months, I'm just so excited, man. Really, really excited to do some damage in football. And going to be a busy weekend. So jump on board. Great time.
Awesome stuff, Gianni. Great to have you here. Good to have you back at the Steve Report, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
Brother.
Let's have a big Thursday. So, all right, guys. Big special that we have up is buy September, and get August for free. Get the rest of August. So what is it? 21st? Yeah, you're gonna get about a week and a half already of free plays here. So just buy September. Cost drops to about $49 a week. It's less than $7 a day. We got college football. We got NFL preseason. We got all of the big time sports. So might as well tack on some free days on this. Act now. If you're gonna latch onto a handicapper, do it right now. You get all of September, and then you're gonna get plays for this weekend here. So don't sit back and wait till the last second or the last day of August. Lock it in now. Grab the free weeks and ride with us all the way through September. Again, buy September and get the rest of August free. This is good for any handicapper. So take advantage of that now. So let's see. God keeps asking about PFL. We're not going to do a PFL video because I believe those fights are tonight. Sketchy card. We have not had very good success in PFL. Billastini by KO over Carl Williams might be a good look. Carl's going to be a wrestler, Billastini, but honestly, nothing much. You got a minus 1,100, a minus 2,800, so not great lines. So not really gonna force it. I think it's terrible fights in PFL. It's absolutely awful fights. So actually, Dan, if Kyle's ready, let's do Kyle. Let's talk some UFC Shanghai. We're waiting for Dave Mason, so we'll bring on Kyle and we'll talk UFC here. We got a weird card here. It's going to start at 3 a.m. My time. So awesome, Kyle. Nothing says let's have a great big UFC card than starting it at 3 a.m. So let's bring on Kyle here. Yo, Dan, let's bring on. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Kyle, strange card. We're going to break down a couple of fights. I am debating whether or not I want to stay up and watch it. I'm debating.
The only question really is do you stay up and watch it, or do you go to bed early and get up? It's like there's a little bit of a game you got to play there with, like, do you try to just call it a night and get up early? But I'm probably going to get up early and watch some of these fights. Maybe miss some of those early prelims, but definitely going to get up early and watch it.
Well, let's talk a couple of these fights here. We do have some bettable opportunities. So let's start with Michelle Pereira and the returning Kyle Daukaus. Kyle, I love the opportunity to fade a Daukaus. Anytime I get a Daukaus in the UFC. This one worries me, but I'm interested in your breakdown. How do you break down Michelle Pereira and Kyle Daukaus?
Yeah, so we have Michelle Pereira. He's sitting around minus 270 on the comeback here. We've got Kyle Daukaus. He's at plus 215. Now, the first thing you look at the Pereira fight is the fact that his last fight was pretty much he threw it. And I know that sounds crazy, but that was one of the worst performances we have seen from him. It almost like a glorified sparring match. He didn't really try against Magomedov. It was just pitter-patter shots. It was very ugly altogether. So it's definitely going to be hard to trust this guy. But when you look at really what's kind of going on in his body of work, since he moved up from 170 to 185, I think it's been a great move for him. 170, very, very tough for him to make. He was draining himself. He had multiple issues trying to make weight. And then once he got to 185, he definitely kept the power, kept his strength, kept a lot of the speed that he had, even at 185. And then you look at the fact that his 3 first fights, all first round finishes, looked really good. And then they gave him Fluffy Hernandez, which is probably one of the worst stylistic matchups for him. The guy's got insane cardio, insane pace, great wrestling. And even though with all of that and Fluffy finished him in the 5th round, you still saw Pereira, he hurt him in the 1st round, almost finished him in the 1st round. And then that was kind of it for him. He had that one splash, wasn't able to get it. And then he lost the next one to Magomedov, which was a terrible performance overall. But I do think due to those really bad performances, I think the market's providing some nice opportunities here in methods of victory and those types of things. And the other thing you got to look at is also the fact this is a massive step down in competition here for Pereira. You're fighting these top level guys. Fluffy's going to be fighting, for a title possibly soon. And now you're fighting Kyle Daukaus. And you got Kyle Daukaus here, who this is his 2nd stint in the UFC. His first stint didn't really go that well. He was 2-4-1 in the UFC before they cut him. He got knocked out back-to-back times and just really bad look overall. Then he goes to CFFC, which is a lower level organization. And even there, he goes out there, he does win 4 straight fights, but even there, he was rock wobbled multiple times, had some really bad looks, and he's fighting guys that are pretty much part-time fighters. They're construction workers during the day and they're fighters at night. These records of the guys that he beat, 6-3, 8-6, 17-9, 8-11. Very bottom of the barrel guys. And this is, again, a massive step down for Pereira here. And you look at the biggest issues here for Daukaus is going to be his durability. Again, knocked out twice before he was cut from the UFC. He's very hittable in the pocket, has no striking defense. And Pereira, if he lets his hands go, I think he really dominates very early in this fight here. Plus, I think that Daukaus does need takedowns. And Daukaus, 25% takedown success rate, not the greatest. Pereira's is 67 takedown defense rate. I think he keeps us on the feet. I think Daukaus is way too hittable. And I think that this is providing a great line for inside the distance here. So getting off Pereira at the minus 270 mark, you can get him inside the distance, sitting around plus 115. I think that is an absolutely great price here. I don't think if he wins this, which I do believe he does, I don't see this going to the scorecards here. I think Pereira puts it on him here. This is a great bounce back spot. So I like Pereira to get that finish in this fight.
I mean, I watched Daukaus on the regional scene, and he hasn't gotten better.
He's like the same fighter. He's the
same old thing with this guy.
Yeah.
Same fighter. So
yes.
Yeah, if Pereira has a pulse, yes, he should get the finish here.
Right.
Let's talk.
If he tries here, he's got a great chance. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's talk Austin Hubbard and Rong Zhu. It's an Austin Hubbard fight, so it's going the distance. Rong Zhu, pretty incredible story. I like this guy. He's 25 years old. He's had like 30 fights. This is a guy that comes from an orphanage where they literally get dropped off as kids.
Yeah.
And they get trained to fight. Here, we'll feed you, we'll give you shelter, we'll give you clothes in exchange. You're going to fight later in life, and we get 50% of your money. It's a wild story. I like where he's going, though. I think he's got talent. I think he's got skill. I think he got started way too early, but that's just the nature of what happens when you come from this area. But how do you break down this Rong Zhu and Hubbard? I like Zhu.
Yeah, so you got Rong Zhu here. He's around minus 250. On the comeback, you have Austin Hubbard. He's about plus 205. Now, as you said, kid's 25 years old, 32 professional fights. That is just off the charts, the amount of fights that he has had. And we're definitely, as you're saying, he's growing up in the cage and he's growing up on the job, and you are seeing him consistently get better. He trains now at CKB. I think that's definitely continuing to improve him, get his arsenal all together here. And one of the big things that he really showcased was his most recent fight against Cody Steele. And Cody Steele, kind of a rising guy, rising prospect. There was some talk about him kind of having some opportunities here, but, Rong Zhu goes in there as a plus 280 underdog, absolutely dominates, outperforms his number, outlands Steele 127 to 59 on significant strikes, had a knockdown, just dominated. And again, at 25 years old, you are going to see massive improvements consistently with these guys, especially when they're in the right camp and they're in a camp like CKB. And Hubbard on the other side, this is another guy having his second stint in the UFC. You know, they're bringing him in and they're shipping him to China, and I think that this is going to be a bad situation for him. Hubbard on his first go around, he was 3-4 in the UFC. They cut him, they brought him back. He's now 1-3 in the UFC, so it's not that he's really getting much better either here. He's a journeyman fighter overall, and I think when you look at his skill set, he's slow, he's plotty, he doesn't really do too much. You know, he's good everywhere but great at nothing, you know, and he's got, you know, he's going to look to grind. He's going to look to take him down, grind him up against the fence, a 31% takedown success rate. I don't think that's going to work out well for him. The CKB guys consistently get better and better with their takedown defense, and Rong Zhu on the other side is just really better everywhere, better striking, faster hands, takedown defense is at 84%. So I just think that he can keep this standing, land more of the impactful shots. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. And as you said, you know, this fight I do think goes the distance. I think this is a spot where Rong Zhu really pushes that volume out. He's always out voluming a lot of his opponents. And he, again, that's, you know, sprawl and brawl, keep it on the feet. And I just think when you're looking at Hubbard, he has 9 losses, 6 are by decision here. I think he's got enough durability to kind of get this to the scorecards here. So you got Rong Zhu, you can get off the -250 number, and you can get him at about a pick 'em anywhere from +100, -105 on the fight to go to the scorecards, and he wins by decision. So I think Rong Zhu wins by decision here. I think he outlands him, and I think that Hubbard survives this and probably gets cut at the end of this. But I do like Rong Zhu to get the job done.
Yeah, I agree. Hubbard, I mean, it's cutting season in UFC. They're trimming down the roster. They got Contender Series. They got some guys that look really good.
Definitely.
So, I agree. So we're not doing Sell Me. Dan is jumping on a flight right after this. I believe it's his honeymoon, and he doesn't have a camera or microphone.
Congrats,
he doesn't have a camera or microphone, so no Sell Me today. But Kyle, it's UFC Shanghai. What do you have up for everyone this weekend?
Yeah, so this weekend I do have a 5% play up. As Andy said, this is an early card here, 3:30, something like that on the East Coast. So this is going to be one of those ones where you're going to be able to bet on Friday, wake up with some profit in your account, and I think we've got a good spot here. So check it out, WagerTalk.com. Do have 2 plays in there. Again, always going to be adding as we get closer to fight night. So check it out, WagerTalk.com.
Kyle Anthony, let's cash on UFC Shanghai in the wee hours of the morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. We're going to do all around the world. At the end of the show, we have Dave Mason, and he's a busy man in his cubicle, which, Dave, that still cracks me up every single time. Happy NFL preseason. Happy college football season. Interested how things are going, what the handle's been on NFL preseason compared to college football. Happy Thursday, my friend.
Hey, happy Thursday. Thanks for having me. I mean, let me see here. I mean, the big action hasn't come in college football yet, even for this weekend's games. So let's see here. I mean, overall, the bigger games in college football will do more action. They'll do more action. But you know, you get a lot of sharp bets on the NFL preseason, which really inflates the volume too. But overall, these college football games will do more action than NFL preseason. But the NFL preseason still does really good money. I mean, again, like I said, there's just so much sharp action on these NFL preseason games that kind of inflates the volume because you know they're not, you know, they're betting a lot more money than the recreational guys.
I'm assuming you guys had an incredible week 1 of preseason. All the line moves kind of backfired on everyone. How was week 2 for you guys?
Actually, we got crushed. I mean,
okay.
We lost. I mean, I forget I was tweeting. I was kind of keeping score at a day-by-day basis. We lost the first 6 days of preseason, and then we won 2 in a row, and then we lost again. So whatever that is, I guess it's what 2 and 7. I think preseason games or something. Okay. I might be off 1 or 2 there, but I mean those odds moves. Like I said, you know, those odds moves. I mean, the sharp guys are taking advantage of that. So you're just getting so much. Like I click on our sharp tab here, and it's just like all these games just have 2-way sharp action on it, you know, and it's the line moves are so violent, and it's just a race for information, and it's so much easier than ever to get information on these games. And, you know, we got 1 or 2 guys battling managing all these games, battling all these sharps, getting all this information, and we're moving off their stuff. And next thing you know, these odds move or they're flip. One team was -3, open -3, and they close +4. I mean, it's just you get middle left and right. It's not fun. We can't wait till NFL regular season.
Brent was asking, is there more, like just today, are you going to take more handle on the couple of NFL preseason games or the baseball slate?
Depends what baseball game, but the biggest baseball games, we'll do more volume. We'll do more volume on them. But again, the limits are higher there too, right? We're doing like 15,000, and you get all that sharp guys. So that runs it up. Lower level, MLB games that aren't getting that much interest, you'll do more on the NFL preseason. But overall, more on MLB, but it's not an exact science.
I'm looking forward to college football and NFL week 1. What you guys open lines for week 1, college football week 1, NFL? Have you seen any line movements or sharp action on any of those games?
Well, I mean, for this weekend for college football, some sharp is plus Stanford +3.5, Western Kentucky -9.5, Western Kentucky under 61 or more, Hawaii under 51.5 or more. Next week, not a lot has come in yet. I mean, there's been some, but waiting for the limits to go higher. Minnesota -16.5. What's Colorado here? Colorado +5. But again, most of that, big sharp action will come in next week as the limits go higher. As far as NFL, kind of same. I mean, we get some early action, but once the limits get pumped up in a week and 2 weeks, then the real sharp action comes in. Let's see what I got here. KC -2.5. Giants +7 was sharp. Bucks pick was sharp. So here's another one. Bills. That's a board. Yeah, Bills -1, -105. They're now -112. So there is some sharp stuff, but again, most of it comes in week up once those limits get bumped up.
All right. Have you been betting anything these days?
A little bit. Not today. I just have a couple play. I'm taking Iowa State +3. Brian Ortega +235 at UFC this weekend. I probably won't watch it because it's going kind of early. Well, yeah, so we'll see.
Kind of early.
Yeah, right. I woke up at 3:30 this morning, so I might be up for it. I might be able to watch the whole damn event. Who knows? What my insomnia is doing on Friday morning or Saturday morning, wherever the hell it is.
Yeah, you're right. It's either early Saturday morning or late Friday night, depending on your sleep schedule here. So, remind us about the contest that you're running at BetOnline.
Oh yeah, big contest here. We got 2 different Survivor contests. We got the traditional one. That's a $1 million guaranteed prize pool. There's gonna be an overlay in that, without a doubt. So you know what that means. There's an overlay. Definitely get in it. Only
What's an
$30
overlay for everyone. Describe an overlay.
Overlay is when we don't collect the money enough. We don't collect as much money as the prize pool is. So let's say the prize pool is $1 million, but we only collect 800,000. That means there's an overlay of $200,000. So it's kind of helps you out with a mathematical advantage kind of thing, right? So there will be an overlay. I'm 99% sure that. So that's $1 million, only $30 to enter numerous times at a discount. Then we had the first time ever we're doing the $100,000 spread Survivor. Now there's not going to be an overlay in that. We kind of went low. It's our first time, but we're going to add, there's going to be no rate though. So we're going to add every dollar onto the prize pool. So if we collect 200 grand, that's going to be the prize pool. So yeah, get in those. And that's only $20 to enter, I believe, 20 or 25, I forget. Enter numerous times for discounts. Spread Survivor, obviously, it is what it is. It's the same thing as Survivor, except you're picking against the spread. So there's going to be a lot of carnage. There's no way in hell that lasts the whole season.
We have a very interesting comment that I want to get your opinion on, Dave.
Oh boy.
Okay. So Dale puts in the chat, in quotes, sharps. What a joke. They don't win any more than squares. So when you say it, use the word sharp, are you saying that they win more, or are you saying that they get the line move better?
I'm telling that, sir, is incorrect. I mean, I respectfully disagree with that young man or old man or whoever he is. I mean, sharps are guys who win money long term on sports betting. I mean, it happens. People say that sharps don't exist is wrong. They do. They win long term. They beat the closing number. We respect their action. A lot of books don't take their action. I mean, you just look on Twitter. You look at all these people complaining. I got banned from this book. I got banned from that book. They limited me to $1. Why would those books be limiting and kicking these people out if there were no such thing as sharps or long-term winners? They exist, and there's more than ever. There's more than ever because there's more information. There are all these damn Discord groups and everything sharing information and all betting at once and syndicates and all this stuff. You know, and there's different levels of sharps. You know, there's originators who originate the lines. We love those guys because they help us shape those lines. Then there's, steam chasers, arbitrage guys who are just, betting plus 101 on something at one book and plus 101 and something in our book, and they're just trying to make a penny on a dollar on all these massive volume bets. So there's then there's the bonus kind of guys. I don't really want to call them sharp, but they're long-term winners too. There's different types, but yes, there are professional bettors out there 100%.
All right. If there's anybody that would know, it is Dave Mason there. So Dale, there you go. Yeah, there's not a lot of them, but there are sharps out there, and that's who. It'd
be easier if there was, and I wish I could sell here and say, yeah, there are no such thing as sharps, and just everybody bring your action, and okay, limits are $100,000 on ping pong. Let's go at it, But it's not the reality we live in here. Sorry.
$100,000 limits in ping pong. Don't you threaten me with a good time.
Darts. Sorry, darts. How about that?
Listen, a true story, Dave. I followed a guy who bet Czechoslovakian table tennis, and he got me banned from several books.
There you go. Exactly.
He was lights out. He was lights out. Now I can't use those books anymore. And he stopped giving out plays because everyone was getting banned. I miss him so much. It was like taking a pay cut. All right. Dave, where can we find you on social media? Dave is a great follow on social media.
At Dave Mason, BOL. Come on over and say hello.
All right. Thank you so much, Dave. And, man, we're going to get a lot of Dave Mason here coming forward with football season. So
all right.
Great comments. And honestly, when Dave comes on, load up the questions. He'll answer just about anything. So Brent, great. Brent, he's a sharp. He goes 5 out of 6 every day in a parlay, 90% winner. There you go. Brent, our in-house sharp, Brent. That's a great comment. So, all right, let's do all around the world. I will tell you guys, I have a WNBA prop of the day that is up. We do not do many WNBA plays for clients. This one is a must-add. Go grab that one. Tour Championship has started. Client plays have already started. So if you missed out on those, we're going to profit during the day, and then we're going to profit tonight. So WNBA prop is up. Like I said, we're very low volume in WNBA. We've hit 67% of our WNBA bets since the start of August. So, grab that. Grab that WNBA best bet that's up. Am I doing a live stream for PFL tonight? No. We're going to record UFC tonight, and we'll get that up tomorrow here on the WagerTalk channel. But yeah, for Winning in the Shadows, no, we're not doing a live show for PFL. So. All right, let's. Andy said he'll put his company on Luke Littler. Depends on the matchup, Brent. If I get a good matchup, I'll absolutely lay the house on Luke Littler, the right format. All right, let's go all around the world here. And we got a couple of NFL plays, and then we got a soccer play that was on the WagerTalk page. So I thought that was a really good one. We have 2 NFL preseason games tonight. Let's take a look at 2 team totals. We're going to go to the Steelers and the Panthers, and I like the Panthers under 15.5 on their team total. Quarterback situation is kind of a preseason disaster for Carolina. Dalton is hurt now, so Young is not going to get any playing time. So Plummer was 10 of 14 for 83 yards and 2 interceptions. They scored 3 points last night. Backup defense for the Steelers should be good enough to hold them under 2 touchdowns. So I'll take the Panthers under 15.5. Patriots and Giants. I like the Giants over 21.5. They set up great for preseason because I got a lot of depth at quarterback. Wilson, Dart, Winston, DeVito, all quarterbacks with experience or upside. They've scored 31 and 34 points the first 2 games. Patriots held the opponents under their total for the first 2 games, but they played no good quarterbacks. No matter who the Giants put in, I expect them to have success. And the Patriots do not look like they're going to play Drake May very much, so expect extended possessions from the Giants. I like them over 21.5. Those are your 2 NFL preseason games for tonight and 2 team totals. We're also going to look at Chelsea at West Ham. Carmine likes Chelsea in regulation. West Ham lost 3-0 to newly promoted Sunderland. Chelsea, in their last game, they ended up with a draw, I believe, but they had 71% possession. They outshot the team 19-11, so we're looking at that. It's a little bit juicy, around minus 150, but we like Chelsea to win in regulation. All right, that is going to do it for us today on a Thursday. Dan, have a blast, my brother. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy the time off. We're going to be back tomorrow with another episode of Wager Talk Today. You got Steam Report. We're going to go over a huge loaded college football and NFL preseason slate. So thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, Flex Picks are up, and that by September, get the rest of August is an incredible special. You get free plays for the rest of August if you just buy September. You're looking at less than $7 a day. It's on the deals page. It works for any handicapper, myself included. Let's cash in WNBA tonight, guys. Let's do it again tomorrow and get you ready for the weekend. Hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the Wager Talk channel and hit that bell. That way you get notified when all of our shows go live. And don't forget, the Blitz is coming up at 1 o'clock Eastern. So here in about 15 minutes, the Blitz. Brian Power, Ralph Michaels, Ross Benjamin. That show's going to be live, so you can jump on and ask them questions as well. You're going to get the best college football information. Cannot wait for this one. I will probably be in the chat section as well to pick those guys' brains and get as much information as possible, get us ready for college football. So thank you very much to everyone in the chat. Don't forget, Blitz coming up after this. We'll see you guys later. Good luck on your bets today. Take care.